Hey everyone out there in internet land, I'm Vinny,
I'm Joe.
and welcome back to the Retro Grab Bag Show. Today we are going to talk about video store memories, rental memories of when we used to go into these stores, pick up physical media and rent it for $1 or $2 and bring it home for a couple days or a weekend. I know that kind of added a little magic to our weekends when we were younger. So in Palmerton, we had Vacation Video, which was by us. So we had a straight shot to the convenience store, to Vacation Video, or to Vacation Video at the convenience store and back.
Right.
So we would load up. Renting. We also rented video games, obviously too. Then up Delaware, there was
The Uptown
Video.
that came in the 90s. That
Yeah.
lasted a couple years.
That was pretty good too.
Those were the two big ones.
Yeah. I also, as I got a little older and the video store was still around, Walnutport Video. Their selection of VHSs was unbelievable. Vacation Videos.
Is that where the Blockbuster went in? That's one. I'm not positive as to where that one is.
It's right next. It was right next to Ice Cream World. What is that now? Right next to Ice Cream World.
That turned into 48 Hours then. Which
out.
isn't that what the one was called in Palmerton after Vacation Video? Then?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then there was 48 Hours, which is now Ciro's.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, there's been a bunch in the area.
Oh yeah. Well, there was even a Blockbuster in Walnutport as well. Yeah.
But
which I
that's the
didn't
gym
venture
now, yeah.
into that too much. I know Blockbuster was a big deal.
No, I
Not
went there a
for
lot
me.
when they had their sales. You know, if they're looking to sell you the Nintendo games or whatever, you used to be able to get them pretty cheap. From
Oh
those
shit!
places,
I didn't
but
know that. That would have been cool.
Yeah, they always had pre-owned game sales,
Nice.
but renting it was usually locked down to our locals. And like you said, I mean, it was big with movies. I mean, obviously the first memory I had is Terry's Music Explosion, which was the original place in Palmerton. I don't know if you remember that. That was down by Tony's. You know, he rented VCRs. You know,
Really?
So before we, I don't know. I think our dad got a VCR right off the bat. But I remember people renting VCRs. We would rent the video game systems that we didn't have, like the Sega Genesis, from that place. So that was our first big one growing up, and he had pretty much everything you needed for VHS movies. I remember, you know, when big titles like Back to the Future came out, you actually had reservations. You know, if you planned on renting that on Friday, you better call and reserve one of the copies, or you're not going to just walk in and get it.
Yeah,
So
home video was taken off. Yeah.
But one of the best things that I think everyone will agree is, just like you mentioned at the top of the episode, is just, I don't know what I'm getting. I want to walk around. I want to pick up a physical box. I want to flip it over. I want to read it. And you don't get that with anything these days because everything's mainly digital.
Yeah. I mean, I've found older movies on Amazon to rent.
Right.
That, okay, for instance, we just watched, I showed my wife Rookie of the Year. Remember that one where the kid hurts his arm, he throws fastballs?
Sure.
And I remember renting that. And now with the digital download, and it looks great, and it's there, and it's available. Don't get me wrong, that's awesome. I still think that's cool. But nothing would beat when you would pick it up.
Right.
And even renting DVDs. You know, even when, 48 Hours took over and stuff like that, and DVDs were the thing. Like, it would nothing really beat that. My favorite memory of the rental experience was actually, I for whatever reason could not go to school. I was sick, and I think I had it was like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I was told to stay home, and I think on the way back, I rented the first Planet of the Apes movie with Charlton Heston. Okay. I watched that, and then somehow it was like, well, when I rented that, I saw the other ones there. I'm like, man, there's a lot of them. There's 5 of them. And so I watched the first one, but I knew I'd be home the next day. Mom or someone, ran out every time I'd finish one on the way home from work or whatever to get me, and I saw the whole 5. And I'm like, this is amazing. They're all kind of connected. Like, I love that whole saga of movies. And it was like, okay, well, the next rental's coming. The next rental's coming. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
I also, back in the day when I was in elementary school, I was real excited to rent the Roadrunner NES game. I'm not sure if that's what it's called. And my only remember is I remember getting that, and I like could not play it. I don't know if it was that. Might have to revisit this. I don't know if it was that bad, or I just didn't get
And it
it.
was NES.
NES,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And it just, I don't know if it just sucked, or I didn't, or I sucked, but I was
a lot of those
really,
games did suck pretty
yeah.
hardcore. So
I'm thinking we need to look at that.
especially those franchise type of games where they're it's a game after a character or a movie or like that. Usually, you just throw that out the door and it's garbage.
Yeah, yeah. And I was pretty upset about that, and had to put a dampening on the weekend. But you know what? I still had TGIF, and I still had SNCC, you know, and all that other great stuff. Weekends were the bomb back in the day, especially with stuff like this.
Wow. What was
Yeah.
TGIF? I know that was a group of shows.
It
But
was on ABC, but it was a rotating group of shows. But the big ones were like Family Matters.
okay.
I know I used to watch Step by Step a lot. Boy Meets World was on that eventually. There were so many.
Yeah.
There were so
I think
many.
a lot of those came back too because I know Girl Meets World
Yeah.
became a thing.
I never
And
saw
a lot
any
of
of
those
that.
characters because Kenna watched something
Okay.
on Netflix and it was basically that
Did you get
show.
to see any of that?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's the cheese like from what you remember, but
well, that's all right.
it's good stuff. I mean, the same thing like Fuller House came back. You know.
Oh well, yeah,
It's the same.
exactly.
It's the same thing. A lot of those shows are coming back now that
of course,
you watched in the early '90s. That
so
people
so
love 'em.
much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's what sells.
So
I mean, like
hopefully,
there's
maybe some rental shops will come back. You know, that'd be cool.
well, and I was just about to say that. Like, you mentioned shows coming back. Like, maybe rental shops to come back. And the reason they do that, the reason they reboot and they redo everything is because you have built-in audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You have built-in audiences that have been doing or watching or seeing this thing or buying it this way for so long that they just kind of try to redo it, you know, and then their younger ones get into it, like, you know, Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all fine and well if it's done for the right reasons, and some of that shit is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then some reboots and all that shit are bad.
Mm-hmm.
You can see if they just did it
but
for
they're
a
so
buck.
bad they're good sometimes.
Sometimes they're so bad they're good, but that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for the rental episode. If you have any questions, let us know. What was your favorite rental memory or video game or movie that you rented? All right, so have a good weekend and be nice to each other.
See ya.